You're
we're,
speaking
we're
my
all
like,
getting, we're
if
all
you're
getting very comfortable with each other. So it's like, oh, well, here we go. All right.
okay.
So
Yeah.
say that again, Pat.
If you're maximizing your deserve level, okay, rather than minimizing it or sabotaging, you are doing the things you need to do to get to where you want to go. Okay.
Mhm.
And that's the process. Now, that doesn't mean that you're perfect. And that doesn't mean that you don't binge on Saturday night with a couple glasses of wine or something. But, what it does mean is that consistently you are feeling in that groove. Okay.
Mhm.
I'm doing what I need to do to get to where I want to go. And the problems I work with people is that they're not doing what they need to do and they're not getting to where they want to go.
Right. That's exactly the behavior that I got. Like, oh, I'm telling myself, you know what? This is the only time to have a little break. It's okay to watch a show at night, but it bleeds into the next day. But I have this pattern of saying, oh, this is my me time. So yesterday I was like, well, why don't I just take my me time, convince myself that the me time is during the day when I have a free pocket, not this evening chunk, because it rolls over. So
Well,
that,
it rolls over and spoils the me time that you're really trying to create, that quiet being with yourself, no husband, no kids, no nothing, just you, right?
right. Well, I'm thinking like, and this is also maybe an issue, is that at night, if I'm watching a movie, it's like, oh, this is my time to like check out. Well, then I'm like, well, why do I need to check out? Like, just to, I mean, I know it's healthy to unwind, but like, that's what I'm saying in my head. Instead of it just being a healthy thing, it's like, oh, this is my break. Like, no kids, no whatever. I get to do what I want. But it doesn't seem like that's a healthy thought process at night.
Well, I don't know what you're doing. Are you staying up till midnight and binge watching, something, or are you eating?
Yeah, like sometimes
I-
I'll watch Netflix and then it has that, I didn't realize what Netflix was until I started doing it. And now I look at the seasons because I'm like, oh, load next thing. It's like a dopamine hit. And yeah, sometimes it's later than I wanted to go to bed. Let's just say that. And it's not all the time, but it's frequent enough where getting up, my new pattern of getting up at 5 has been hard.
Sure, I got you. I understand perfectly. Now, are you watching Netflix with your husband? Are you guys doing that together?
Sometimes we'll do like a movie, but no, sometimes we have totally separate tastes. So sometimes it's just me alone.
Yeah. Okay. And well, here's the deal. It's me time at 5 and it's me time at night. What me time do you want, or how much?
Yeah, that's what I think I need to decide, because the me time at 5 when it happens is like the best and it's a lot more healthy.
Well, if that's your decision, then you need to guard it. And you guard it by having a definitive time when you go to sleep.
Okay.
The wonderful thing about Netflix is that you can stop in the middle of stuff and you can go back. So you don't lose it. You're not
Mhm.
you're not penalized by your need to go to sleep. So it hits, I don't know, 9:30, 10 o'clock, and you say, that's it, bog.
Mhm.
Got me time here, and I'm protecting me time at 5. Got it all.
I like it.
Yeah.
Problem solved. I think just like I need to hear that, like, oh, I got to guard it. And like when you verbalize it, you're like, this just sounds ridiculous. Like I want to hit my goals.
No, of course. But it's I empathize because at night I have very little energy to do anything but be entertained,
Mhm.
and I have the same kind of tendency, and that is, I mean, they do get you hooked. I mean, you're in some serial thing, and it's like the guy, it's like the guy's on the cliff and the girl is drowning, and you're going, oh God,
The drama.
I can't leave it now. I can't leave it now. But it'll be there. The guy will still be on the cliff and the girl will still be drowning. and you'll feel better. So there you go.
I like it. Yeah. And I find that sometimes it's like an energy leak. Like I've just been a lot more aware of that with how I'm spending my time and wanting to design my life and have, every day leads to then a joyous year if you're doing things right. But there are times when, the notifications or whatever stuff that I'm reacting to. So I've noticed this pattern that I want to make a change, but then there's also some daily things that happen too, where it's like, hey, I've got to just stay focused on this, because we do get media and things coming at us in a lot of different ways.
Yeah. America has become a lot more complex in the years that I've been involved, and it's the social media stuff, and it's just a lot more it was always demanding. It was never what people thought of, oh, you're just sewing lipstick. It was always demanding, but it's become more, it's demanding more skills out of you, I think.
Mm-hmm.
How to manage the social media, how to do this, how to do that. And so, yes, I think you have a demanding job and you have children, which is a demand right there. And they're little, right, Maria?
Yeah, it's a 3 and a 5. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I'd also come to the conclusion of like, I want to pour my energy into my work, but I don't want to be so depleted that my kids get the leftover. Like I want to design it where I'm energized if they're at daycare and I have them for the afternoon, or I get to do something. Like just thinking about those things on the day to day. Because I've been a lot better about trying not to schedule Zooms in the evening time and doing my stuff in the daytime when I have my pockets of child free time and they're not here, so I can be fully present with them. So that's been a big work in progress, which has been great, but it's been a learning curve for sure, because sometimes I want to say yes to stuff in the evening. But needing to just like, I moved my meeting to Monday at noon and like, happy dance. It is fantastic.
Good for you. Well, also get the kids involved, they have opinions about what they want to do. Mm-hmm. So you can ask them, hey, this is your time to be empowered. Tell mommy what you want to do. And if it won't hurt you or cost $1,000, we will do it. You can't tell mommy every week I want to go to Disneyland, but you can pick some things like, ice cream or park or swimming or whatever. So I think it's also great to have a dialogue with them. So it's Team Evans, we're working together, we're here together. And that builds real secure kiddos,
That's what we want, is safe and secure environment.
Yeah. Absolutely. Okay, who else? Maria, are you okay with all that? We're good.
I'm making notes, and yes.
What are you watching? What are you watching on Netflix? What's got you hooked?
Well, I just rewatched the chess one.
Yeah. I know that one.
The Knight's Gambit or whatever.
Queen's
Gambit. I liked that.
Yeah.
I did watch. Well, I convinced myself that there's this horse one. What is it called? Homeland. This was a while ago, but I want a horse ranch. And so I was like, oh my gosh, this is actually me like visualizing my dream. But then my friend Claire told me about it. But then I look, this is my very first Netflix thing. And I was like, this is 12 seasons. Heartland. And I am like a sucker for horses. And I knew all the different disciplines. And then I was like, this is not good. This has 12 seasons or something ridiculous. So now what I do is like the Queen's Gambit, I'll look and be like, is this just a one and done? Or is this like, am I getting too involved? And it's never during the day. Like I am so good during the day. I would never even think to turn on the TV. It is only that evening time when I'm trying to wind down. And I also think Tuesday I had 2.5 hours of family session with my brother and siblings. And we talked about all this childhood crap. And I was like wired, stuff I hadn't thought about in so long, that was the night that I was like, watched a full movie with my husband, stayed up late, then didn't make the prayer call in the morning. But I was like, I think I was rehashing a lot of stuff in my brain too. But I mean,
yeah.
and that's going to be
Yeah.
every Tuesday night. So I just need to know, hey, there's different ways to wind down. It doesn't need to be 3-hour binge late at night on a movie. During the week, I think I need to guard your time, set the boundary of like the weekend, or do it Saturday so Sunday you sleep in.
Yeah. You do. And you can do all that. That's all very doable. So, yeah. Okay. Who else? Who wants to talk? Go.
I'll tag on to what Maria was saying, because last year, Maria, Alicia, and we were like, we're in the 5 o'clock club, we're gonna do it. And same thing like what you and Chelsea were talking about. We would get up and text each other and then whatever. And I couldn't figure out why I was getting increasingly angry. Because not that it was bad, like that quiet time, like it was wonderful, but it felt like a chore because it wasn't natural for like how my body functions. And so I let go of it. I was like, I would much rather get up at 7 and get 3 times more done, because I'm more alert and I just feel better at that time than 5. But then I started working out, and there's a 6 a.m. class that sometimes like on Thursdays, I'm in stuff all day long, and that's the only one I can make it to. And the gym is like almost 40 minutes from my house. So I'm up at 5 a.m. multiple times a week now. And I was like, why can I do this joyful? I mean, like, I don't even struggle. Like, I'll go to bed at any time. It doesn't even matter. 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, midnight, doesn't matter. My alarm goes off at 5 a.m. and I'm like, whoa, let's go. I mean, like, there is no hesitation because of like how much I love being there in the community of it. And so then I realized, I was like, if I'm going to be up early, it has to be like with people. Like, that can't be my quiet time. Otherwise I fall asleep. So now like what gets me up is the people, but the 40-minute drive is my quiet time. So I'm praying all the way in and listening to worship music. And then all the way home, I have 40 more minutes of it. And so then on my days that I don't go at, get up at 5 a.m., which is like, it's like half and half, like 3 days of the week. And then the other 3, I go at noon. And so the other days I have like set times that I have to be up. And then I have one midday day off, because I need, like what you were saying, like we get burned out. And I just don't want to like try to convince myself I'm still doing great when my body is saying you're not doing great. You, like what you were saying, like that was a lot of emotion. Your body was saying, I need to relax. Let me relax. And so there's nothing wrong with, so now I just schedule it, because I know by that point in the week, I'm going to need it anyway. So yeah. So I'm cheering you on. I'm glad that you really love your quiet time in the morning, because I was like, yeah, I'm up at 5, quiet time, praise the Lord. And then it was not good. So yes, but
you have a circadian rhythm. You have a daily rhythm. Some of you are owls, when you're up at night, and that's your time. And some of you are doves, morning doves, and morning's your time. And it's just finding it, and treasuring it. I remember, and I've changed as I've aged, but I remember when I was in my 30s and 40s, I was up till 1 or 2. I mean, that was just where I felt good, And people would call me at 8:30 or 9, and I'd say, "This is not helpful." I am not in my friend mode yet. 2 more cups of coffee, let me get there. But that was my deal, and now I can't go past 10. So there's a change too as you age and as things change, and you have to roll with that. So anyway, but honor your rhythm, and if you're tired, you're tired. It's just like feel, deal, and heal. It's if you feel it and you need something for you. You're getting more and more attuned to who you are, how your feelings are processed, then take that time. Make you the number one. No, that doesn't mean you don't include family and kids, but you don't chronically give up yourself for your family and kids, you know? I mean, sometimes you have to, but there's got to be this balance. I worked with a woman yesterday who said that she absolutely did nothing for herself ever. And she wondered why she was depressed and, angry and everything else. I said, well, we got to get some boundaries here. You've got to do something for you. You got to stop taking care of this husband and his mother-in-law and the mother and I said, there's a you in there too that needs to be taken care of. Think of it as a small little kiddo in your tummy that you got to love that kid, and if you don't, I guarantee you the kiddo is going to throw a fit. I'll guarantee you that. The child in us always wins. In any battle, the child comes out, stomps around, yells, cries, gets upset, has drama. And that's the way of the part of you say, pay attention to me. You can't override me all the time. Just like your kids do, It's reflection. Okay, who else? Let's go.
Well, I'll just add into that as far as I think one of the greatest things I've learned through Mary Kay is to guard my energy, because I think as women, we just try to push through. And it is kind of funny when Maria and I were talking about this the other day, because she's probably the one that has helped me the most with that, because she knows how she's like, Chris, you don't have to work all the time. Because in corporate America, I worked crazy hours, 60,
Sure.
70 hours a week. And it became an expectation because I set that tone. And so then it was like, well, how come you weren't in here on Saturday? You're always here on Saturday. So it was that idea that all of a sudden I had to do the same thing. And it's like, I get to choose. I get to choose that. Wow.
It is,
it's like, I'm definitely the morning dove. I mean, it's natural for me to wake up at 4:30. But that has meant that I have had to become super confident, and I am, in the fact that, I mean, even my cat, you guys, starts down the hallway at 5 to 8. And if I'm not in the bedroom at 8 o'clock, she sits in the doorway and cries, because she's like, it's bedtime. I'm not necessarily asleep at 8, but I'm in there, I'm, doing the whole nighttime routine, and I'm watching the end of my Dodger game at 8:30 in bed. That's typical. And the lights off and I'm asleep by 9 because my body just wakes up. I will say that in the last few months, I've gotten better about allowing myself to stay in bed till 5 and not feeling like I have to be so you got to be up, it's 4:30. But I wake up, and part of that comes from having a military father. If you slept until 6:30, that was like, you're wasting daylight, people, get out of bed. So, but I've learned that Tuesday is my day. It's taken me a long time to get to that point, but Monday is always super full. Thursday, Friday, Saturdays when I do my faces, right? And then Thursdays we have, and so Tuesday is, I stopped. I used to try to put appointments into that day. And if I don't have the energy and I'm not filled up, it's not pretty. And I just get irritated by it. I don't even want to be with this person. Because I recharge. Honestly, I'm a connector. I love being around people, but I also need time where nobody is around for me to either work on my Bible study or read my book or watch 3 episodes of the one TV show I watch, which is The Voice, right? Whatever I need that day. And it's also a day where I'll tend to, get a pedicure or something like that where, and I've started to really become super protective of it, which
Good.
has been good because I never used to be that way. And if I get into that old habit of letting things filter into that day, then I find myself, it's kind of like Mackenzie was saying about the 5 a.m. thing, agitated, like I get irritated, like everybody starts irritating me, like, and then I realize, oh, like I haven't had my me time, my downtime. But everybody that knows me knows pretty much don't call me after 8 o'clock because it will not be a conversation of consciousness on my part. It just won't be, because I just do better. I mean, I'm the type that I'm better to get more done early in the day. But I love what you said, Pat, and I'm going to spend some time in this. You said if you're maximizing your deserve level,
Yeah.
you're doing the things you need to do to get where you want to go. So it's fine to fill yourself up, but are you really, I love that, maximizing your deserve level. Like, what does that look like?
Well, and it looks different for everybody. Okay. And it's, the wonderful thing about it is that you decide what it is. Okay. Your deserve level is yours. And if that means I want more time with my family, I just deserve that, I need that, then that's what it is. If it means I need to work more, make more money, get more recruits, then that's what it is. And it's not either or, of course, it's both and. But how do I, and it's a thoughtful exercise to think about, how do I construct a day or a week that maximizes what I want,
And I like,
yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but one of the things that I do weekly is Sunday, usually sometime in the day, usually mid-afternoon, I plan my week for the next week. Like I take my little weekly accomplishments that I still use and I map it all out for the week. And so I like that. Like, how can I maximize my deserve level this week?
Yeah, that's a good question. Every week, and it's going to be different. It's going to be different per week. I mean, things happen, life happens, and you have to adjust. But and when we get angry or upset or hangry, you've heard that one, hungry, angry, hangry. It's when we're not taking care of ourselves. Those are the cues, and it's like we flip off at people maybe easier, or we get headaches, we get depressed, whatever it is that is your fallback position of basically saying intrinsically and extrinsically, I'm not in the zone. I'm not in where I need to be. I'm somewhere off. And whatever that off is for you, I mean, it, and other people may not, but it's good to have that conversation with husbands and close people, because they need to know, this happens and you're triggering me. Okay. And this is not a good trigger for us. Mm-hmm. So let's work on trying not to trigger, not to walk into it. And if they're agreeable, then you can do that. If not, that's another issue, but but you need to know. You need to know.
And I think you're worth knowing. You're worth it to know.
Yes.
I think that's part of it too, is we have to tell ourselves, I'm worth it to know. Like,
I deserve to know. I deserve to have my time in my way towards my goals. That's not selfish. That's not bad. That is self-aware, self-actualized. And I will bring in other people in appropriate ways to love them and help them and be there. And at times I will suspend all of my needs to help them. if that is a, if that is a bad, a time. But I'll know I'm doing it, and I won't do it for long. Okay? Because if you do it chronically, that's overgiving. That's being a rescuer. That will blow up in your face. Yeah. So, okay, good. Anybody else? Come on, let's hear from everybody. Where are we? You're on fire, Naomi.
Yeah.
That we had a conversation. Have you thought about our conversation? We had a kind of in-depth conversation the other day.
Yeah, we did. I was actually just going to share that I have been thinking about it. I wouldn't say nonstop, but kind of every moment I have for my thoughts to just wonder, I've been thinking about it. And I was like, how does Pat Pearson get in my head?
I'll get out, I promise. I'll get it.
You'll get out. No, you can stay in. I like it. One of the things I thought of was we talked about, permission from the past and that kind of thing. And I realized that I was still working on that. And I kind of thought I had, can you guys still hear me okay? My neighbor's mowing his lawn. Okay. I didn't want my kids to hear this part. Of course, they're going to follow me outside. Say, go inside. Yeah, go inside. Yeah, it's okay. But I have this neighbor that for some reason will not let, like I would think, and this isn't actually what Pat and I talked about, but it led me down thinking in this path that for some reason she will not let our kids play together. And sorry, they're like really loud. I'm gonna move to my backyard.
It's okay. It's fine. Go ahead.
You can still hear me. It sounds really loud to me, but
Yeah. Okay.
so she has boys, they're twins, and they are like 3 months, they're 3 months older than my 9-year-old. We do the same homeschooling co-op. We have like 50 mutual friends. All these, and they happen to buy a house 6 doors down from me like 3 or 4 years ago. And I thought, oh, this is great. Like, I'd kind of been wanting someone else for my son to play with. And I'm the mom who's very picky. Like some of the kids in the neighborhood, their parents let them watch rated R movies at the age of 8. I'm like, no, this is not, oh yeah, I know, like crazy stuff. And in my mind, I'm like, if you want that for your kids, that's fine. But my kid is not going to be playing with your kid when they're introducing my kid to, porn. And like, this is not happening. And so I thought, oh, we have the same values. Literally, we live on, they don't even have to cross the street to play together. This would be ideal. And she will not, like multiple times over the years, I've been like, hey, it's snowing outside. You guys want to go play in the snow? Like 2 hours later, oh, I'm sorry, I just saw this. Or 3 hours later, oh, I'm sorry, we have, errands to run, or like every time. Like it's never, oh yeah, let's play, never. And so finally I gave up, but I realized after our conversation, Pat, that it was weighing on me how, for whatever reason, this crazy person either doesn't think I'm a good enough mom, or maybe doesn't, I have no idea. I don't know, because we have lots of mutual friends that like me and our kids play together.
Yeah.
And I've been working through, since I talked with you, Pat, I've been working through on just being more like, whatever. Like you do your crazy little world where you control everything in your kids' lives. She even makes her kids dress like they're twins. They have to dress like, and she has 2 girls that aren't twins, and they dress alike down to the bows. Like they're cute little bows. And it's fine. It's cute. I'm sure they would end up on the cover of any magazine, but I'm just not going to be that mom. Like my kids can wear mismatched clothes. I don't care, So I don't know what her problem is with me, but it's been helping me to think about our conversation and just be like, this is dumb.
Yeah. So what is not helpful for you is to give your energy to her in a critical way of you. Who knows what she's doing? Maybe she didn't want her kids to see anybody. I don't know. And the only way you're going to know, all up to you, is if you ask her and confront her.
Yeah. I've had that thought. It's extra painful to drive by their house because literally, unless we go the long way, we drive by their house to leave the neighborhood and see them with like 5 other friends we know all playing, and we're not invited. Like ever. Like I could understand one time being like, oh, we'll have these friends over. Next time we'll have these friends over, but like never.
Well,
And my kid sees it. You know, how do I say to my kid, oh, I'm sorry, you weren't invited?
you don't say it. Okay, so the 2 questions here. 1, why is she so important to you? And 2, it is, how are we going to either confront her and find out the answer and deal with it, or let her go? Those are the 2 options.
I think I'm gonna kill her in my shower.
Good idea.
Yeah,
Good idea.
my husband and I both love to cook, so we have tons of knives, like more knives than any normal people should have. Like we have 3 knife blocks, not 1, not 2, 3 different knife blocks because we both like our own knives. I know it's like we need an intervention with knives, but I think I'm literally going to get like a big butcher knife and in my shower just be like, because that would feel good.
Well, then do it. It. Absolutely. Absolutely. Because the truth is, Naomi, you don't know why. You don't know why. There's something, she may be jealous. She may not, she may have some negativity about you. Who knows? I don't know. You don't know. And we're not going to know unless you ask her. And you may not want to ask her. She may not be that valuable to you to ask, because that puts you in a situation to hear things that you may not want to hear, and it's still empowering. What isn't empowering is to let her control you and where you drive and how bad, and taking it on that something's wrong with you. I'm sure that there's nothing wrong with your parenting. I mean, I know you and you're a good person. And so whatever
My
it
kids
is,
only had cyanide once last week. I mean, that's pretty good, right?
but the deal is to re-own your power about her. Okay.
Yeah. I like the question you asked, why does she matter to you?
Yeah.
And maybe I need to journal about that, but yeah, why does she? I mean, I really don't want her life in any way. She's not better than me. We live in the same stinking neighborhood, for God's sake. It's not like she has $1 million home, or like she doesn't have the freedom I have because she doesn't work.
Well, there's some way that she's plugged into a critical parent in your head, and you are using her as a projection of that critical parent and saying, something's wrong with me. I'm not doing it right. That's what I think she thinks. Okay. You with me?
Yes. Yeah.
And we got to re-own that. You have to re-own it. I mean, she may not be willing. She may not be willing to deal with you. She may not be valuable enough for you to take your time to confront her. That's your decision about why she matters. But for sure, you need to deal with your feelings about this. And that is anger, upset, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And that you need to let go of, because you can't give her much power. You may run into her at some gathering of somebody else and say, gosh, Susie, have always wondered why you didn't want to play with your boys, play with my boys. What's that about? Interesting. She'd be cornered. She'd have to say something.
Yeah, I see her every week because we homeschool together and do a co-op together. And so it's a little hard to try and walk this. I'm just going to ignore the fact that you are nice to my face, but never, ever, ever invite us over. And I see you invite our multiple mutual friends over. Like, it's a hard.
Okay, then go in with the soft approach. Susie, I really appreciate seeing you. I know you're such a good mom, and I know my kids would really enjoy being with your kids. And I'm just wondering, why haven't we been able to put this together?
That's good.
It's easy, soft. Why haven't we been able to put this together? I'm just wondering, if you see her all the time, Naomi, you're going to have to talk to her. You're going to have to.
Yeah. Yeah. And when she gives me a line about, oh, what we're always going in different directions or whatever, should I just be like, oh, okay. I don't know what to say to that.
Well, you can be honest if you want, and you can say, well, it seems to me that I've invited you guys over many times, and you just aren't that interested in coming, and that's okay if that's where you are. But I just want you to know that I would like my children to be with yours, and I'm hoping we can make that happen. So leave it on her, let her chew on it, let her think about it, let her, and then if nothing happens, she takes no, initiative, or you see her again, nothing happens, and you've said it nicely, then you're going to have to let it go. And you're going to have to deal with it for what it is. And that is, it is an issue inside of her. It is not about you. And you got to stop personalizing it. People do these strange things, like they don't talk to somebody because they remind them of their best friend that hurt them 20 years ago. You don't know. You just don't know. What you do know is that she's not being responsive. Okay, we know that. We don't know why. And the why may not be important, Naomi, after you tell her that you'd like to be with her. You obviously have some connection to her inside of you, or this wouldn't matter. Okay, so you can be honest about that connection. You can say, I just think you're a cool mom, and I would like my children to be around your children. And if she didn't do anything with that, then you've given her a nice compliment. Let her deal with her guilt. And you move on. Kill them with kindness. It's my motto. Kill them with kindness. Don't get angry. Don't yell. Don't stop. Let her sit in her own resistance to you wanting to get your kids together, and you go on and kill her in the shower. You do that for sure, probably before you talk to her.
I'll make a video. It'll probably go viral on TikTok.
Pat Pearson told me to go psycho in my shit. No, please.
Somehow I see my recruiting decreasing after that. I don't know. Thank you, Pat.
Naomi is so funny before Bethany talks, but because I'm sitting here thinking, like, you're going to have this conversation. I know you're going to have this conversation with this person, and it's going to work out, and then your kids are going to play together. And what could happen is you could go, oh, snap. I don't want my kids around these kids.
Snap.
Because that has happened to me. I'm like, okay, Lord, now I know why you didn't want me. It's like, you never know. Things sometimes look great on the surface, and then they have all kinds of issues going on. But anyway,
Yeah, well,
I'm just laughing.
You know, she's a very controlling mom. You know that already. So that's kind of no fun, to be honest. Well, let's see. It's take it on as a quest, as a challenge. Can I stand up for myself in this way and leave with my self-esteem intact? Because right now, you're not. Right now, you're being stabbed every time you see her, every time you drive by her house. And that has to stop. So I like what Chris said. You know, you may get her and not want her and go, why did I ever ask? But we'll see. We'll see. And just remember, all this is for you. It's not for her. We don't care about her, really. This is for you. It's for you to stand up for what you want. And if you don't get it, how do you handle that? It's a mini course in dealing with the issues of the world and Mary Kay. So, let us know. We'll be interested to hear. Okay, Bethany, we haven't heard from you, my dear. How much time do we have? We got 10 minutes. Let's go.
Hi guys, sorry I was late. I was on the phone taking an order from a customer that was very talkative, but she spent a lot of money, so yay.
Yay.
So Pat, first thing, I so enjoyed our conversation. Thank you for that. Thank you for what I felt walking away was affirmed.
Good.
And that's how I have felt in this group. And I appreciate you guys so much for that. So that being said, currently working towards staying on target for my equinox. It is looking a little scary. I'm just saying. But one of the things that I just had a conversation with my husband. We kind of worked the numbers and that sort of thing. And I think I revealed to you guys that this is not our normal conversation about my business. For about 19 years or so, he stepped out of it, getting extremely frustrated about it. With not a, I mean, it was good common sense, trust me, but he's kind of back in, kind of partnering up with me and working through some of the numbers. And what we discovered was that I'm super close to earning the Malibu, which we weren't on target for that either. So just so we're clear. So in stepping back to the Malibu, I told him, I said, well, if it's where we are, it's where we'll start out to get to that pink Cadillac. And I know that it's the effect of this group and the support you guys have given, the affirmations that you guys have given, and just the pivoting thoughts that I'm okay. I'm not thinking that stinking car has anything to do with me. It's just kind of it's a measurement of where my unit is and how uninvolved they are and how much I need new unit.
Or to get them excited, one of the two.
Right.
You know, and think about it this way too. How many companies give cars? I mean, I don't know, but I don't think it's a lot. And any car that you're given or you earn, not given, you earn is a bonus, for goodness sakes. And so who cares what grade it is, you know, really? I mean, does it have to be a Cadillac for you to feel good?
No. And as a matter of fact, I'm pretty stinking stoked that since the 15th, I have rallied my customers and I've sold over 6,200 retail since the 15th.
Wow. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, so I'm totally stoked about that. So, and honestly, I've worked like I've never worked before, and I have a freedom in it. And it's not this burden, it's fun. I mean, you know, so
that's where everyone needs to get. That it's fun, I'm making money. Remember that abundance chart I gave you guys, you know, and at the top, it's a burden, it's hard, I can't do it. And that's the negative view. And the abundant view is it's fun, I'm having fun, and I'm making money.
Mhm.
And that's where you want to be. You want to be in abundance. Feeling that. Now, that doesn't mean that you don't have goals that you're trying to meet, at some point. But if you don't meet them, that also doesn't mean that you should walk around feeling less than or depressed. It's the enjoyment of the journey. Oh my, I'm gonna lose my stuff. I'm gonna lose here. I'm at 5% and I don't have my
Uh-oh.
chart. Okay, so enjoyment of the journey. That's where we're working on. Yeah. And then you do this better and you get all that, and you could go out and go see some more bears.
Yeah. Yeah, we haven't started planning our next trip yet, but I'm looking forward to that too. So
Yeah, for sure. Thank you, Chaz. That's very nice. Thanks. Okay.
oh, she's getting all plugged in. Okay.
Okay. Okay. Video. Except it fell off my. Okay, we're good. We're good. Thank you. Appreciate it. I don't know what I'm doing here. Okay. Did I break that? I think so. Okay. We're good. A little technical issue here. Okay. Getting worked out. Hold on. Okay.
Your phone might be at 5%, but you're always at 100.
What? Say that again.
Your phone might be at 5%, but you're always at 100.
No, that's not true, but okay. Trust me, I live in this body. I know when I'm not at 100%. I've been dealing with something because I keep watching, and I should turn it off, CNN in Sarasota, where I used to live and where my husband lived in Bradenton, and having them be killed. I mean, just this hurricane is, I don't know, it's making me very upset. I don't live there now, but I just feel for the people who do. So anyway, I'm dealing with that. Okay, where are we, my friends? I think we are almost there. We've got a couple of minutes left. Anybody want to say anything more?
I just want to say thank you so much for giving us the one-on-one sessions. I think that has been just such a gift to every single one of us. I know it was super helpful for me. It was wonderful.
Well, and Maria, I know we have to do yours, and Amanda. I'm liking doing that too, McKinsey, to be honest with you, because what I'm liking is delving a little deeper, knowing the background more. I mean, I know the Mary Kay journey, but I don't know all of your personal journey, and as I know that, I'll be able to hopefully be more effective, try. So yeah. And it's my gift, and it's a gift because I really appreciate this group. I want you to know that. And I don't have groups like this, all of them, believe me. I have groups that are they're not totally united. They're not as supportive. I mean, they're nice, but there's a different quality in this group that is really quite wonderful. It really is. So, okay. Anything more that we want to say here? Okay, I'm just reading all that word. Okay, all right. I can't read it when I'm doing.
I'm gonna put the quote on my fridge, Pat. So that's not a lot gets on the fridge, but it's going on the fridge today.
Okay, and Maria, you and I need to find a time too. Okay, so for your one-on-one.
Sure.
Which quote, Maria? Which quote?
Just if you're maximizing your deserve level rather than minimizing it, then you would be getting the things done, right? Or the opposite is if you're not maximizing your deserve level, then you're not doing the things you need to do consistently. Because I kind of found like I had a surge of like, I felt like I was in the zone, but then it kind of, instead of keeping it going, keeping the sense of urgency, like I mean, luckily Stacy voxed me and I'm like, set a new goal. Like you still have more to do this month, right? That helped me like, oh yeah, snap out of it. Just cause I kind of got to that point where like, whoo, made it over a certain number that I wanted to have. But now it's like the Cadillac mentality is going to be to take it further.
Right.
And it's
Right.
not going to help if I am watching Netflix.
Well, it'll help some. It's just letting yourself have what you want within moderation. What's that? The power. One more.
Yeah. It's a book we're reading with Stacy, and we happen to be loving Ed Milet, he's like a male version of a national. He's in direct sales, very godly man, but like says it like a man does. So
Yeah.
he's got some great interviews. But the book is fantastic.
Ah, good. Nice to know. Nice to know.
Don't
Okay.
worry, I got this right here too. These are my buddies.
God bless. And I'm going to see some of you anyway on Sunday, right?
Right.
Yeah. Right. I'm sorry that everyone isn't here, but maybe someday we'll do a retreat and everybody will come. That'll be fun.
Ooh, that'd be fun.
Yeah, we'll do that. Okay, so all good. And Maria, you and I stay on for a second, okay? And
Sure.
you and I will find a time. Okay.
Okay.
See you guys. Good seeing you.